Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Can't wait to get into a brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday. One of my favorite ways to start the week. Hopefully it's yours as well. Today I want to share with you how to win even when you feel like you're losing at life. And I'll tell you the truth is that almost every single one of us, and it happens, well, hopefully for you, it never happens more than maybe once a year, but sometimes we find ourselves in this position. We find ourselves that we feel like we are in a losing spot. Maybe it's in a relationship that we're in, maybe it's work-based or significant other or parent-child, etc. Or it could be in terms of our spirituality. We feel lost right now. We don't feel that sense of connection. Could be with our body. Maybe we feel like we're trying to do everything right and yet we just can't seem to get in the shape that we're looking for, or overall health. Feel like, you know what, I shouldn't be where I am even though I'm doing this, and this. Or overall, when we look at our career and our finances or what we're doing in life, maybe in terms of our purpose, we don't necessarily feel that connection. I'll tell you, each and every year, at least once during the year, I experience this myself. And I always look at it from the perspective, again, if I was my own client. So what I try to share with a client is this, is that what is it right now that you feel most stuck in? And it's an inkling that it's also where you're looking to improve in life. That's a nice way to look at it. So let's just use your relationships for an example. If you feel right now that you and your significant other aren't in the best spot, well, you could say to yourself, because this is a different way to look at it, and I think equally as important, that if it wasn't important to me, I wouldn't be so upset about it. I wouldn't be so focused on it. So that tells me something in and of itself, which is important. So it's a great first place to then start from. And then after that, you can begin to work from, okay, this has meaning to me. I want it to work. I want to get better. So now, where is it that there's the sticking point? Because there's always a sticking point. Well, again, whether it's our health or our career or spirituality, etc. So as then we begin to ask the qualifying questions, we begin to uncover what the real issue may be. And oftentimes, and I can only speak from a health-based perspective, it is not always where we're willing to look. Right. And so when we look at it, let's move from relationships where I'm not as, I wouldn't say that I'm an expert in that space, move more towards health. And so, a lot of people, they end up with a chronic based dis-ease, which is essentially an inflammatory based issue in the body stemming from a much deeper root cause. And let's say that underlying root cause is an autoimmune issue. Okay. And so they say, you know what? I eat right. I exercise, I move my body, and I look at their nutrition and I look at their overall routine. I say, you're right. Your eating's pretty much on point. You're exercising plenty in terms of like what you need to do. So what aren't we looking at? And then I start to look at the whole de-stress protocol, the diet, the exercise, the stress reduction, the toxin removal, the rest, the emotional balance, right? The scientifically backed supplements, and the success mindset. And when I start to move into stress and sleep and emotional balance, they're not ticking those boxes. So are they doing well in terms of the diet and the exercise and the supplements? Yes. Anything you tell them to do that's more, the individual is often doing it for a lot of the high performers that I work with. But many are neglecting their sleep. So when they look at their sleep score, well, it's not so great. They tend not to like to look at it. It's less than 7 hours or so of sleep per night. It's not getting the 90 minutes of deep and the 2+ hours of REM. And then we start to look at their emotions. Well, they're kind of covering up maybe some childhood trauma that might still be there. Right? They have massive amounts of stress at work. So they're willing to deal with all the other things, but not necessarily the things that are causing a lot of the neuroendoimmunological issues that lead to a lot of the autoimmune issues that we see. So the neuro is the nervous system. It's stress, right? That affects then the hormones, such as cortisol and thyroid, etc., which then affect what? The immune system. So our goal then is to say, all right, we don't feel like this person is winning in life right now, right? But by focusing on it, we're saying Their health is important to them because they want to be around for their kids, because they want to be able to enjoy their life when they're older and maybe retired. They want to be able to have the energy to do the things they want later in life. So they say, okay, what's the underlying root cause? I've done what I can do in this area, but now here's what's happening. They're learning and they're growing because what worked for them in the past and has gotten them to where they are today is not going to get them to that next level. And that really is the greatest metaphor for any time we want to take our life to that next stage. Whether it's in business or a relationship, anything else, we need to get better if we want better, right? We need to ascend to that next level inside if we want to see it on the outside. So for this individual with the autoimmune issues, what do they need to do? Not neglect their diet or their exercise or their supplements or the red light or sauna or all the great things they're doing. But we can no longer overlook the emotions and the stress and the sleep. Now we need to focus on the missing part of the equation that we only got to as we started to peel back and really break open this onion as to really what is going on. So for this individual, what would it look like? Well, again, they feel like they're losing in life. They have an autoimmune issue that's causing a lot of pain in their body and their overall psychology. And so don't feel like they're winning. But here's what we can do. We can turn it around by finally taking their health to that next level. And we can begin to have them work with a maybe therapist on the childhood trauma. We can begin to use the 3-2-1 sleep-based formula. We can use the sleep help support protocol for nutritional supplements. We can work on breath work before bed. We can work on resonance breathing, that basically relaxation therapy as well. We can wear blue light blockers, an hour to 2 hours before bed as well. We can implement all of these different techniques, and there are many, and we have lots of podcasts on them, in order to be able to improve the sleep, which will also, truthfully, be able to calm that sympathetic nervous system and help with the overall stress in life as well. And then if there's work-based stress, well, we can begin to tackle that as well. Over time, the nervous system will begin then to reset, which is an amazing thing. So now we're taking this trouble in life, which is giving us hardships, and actually using it as a focal point to get better. And are we going to win every single time? No. The majority of times when you begin to improve your relationships, improve your health, improve your body, any of these things, you know that the first time you try it, it's unlikely that you score 100, that you're going to get it, right? You might get a 60, a 70, right? It's like, oh, it's not bad. Like I did well, but not great. I could do better. Sure, you could, because it was your very first time, right? So if this person's just trying to improve their sleep, you think that the first night after doing resonance breathing, they're going to sleep then perfectly for the rest of their life? Most likely not, right? They're going to get maybe one night's better sleep in the next week. And then they're going to build off of that. And then 2 or 3 great nights sleep. And then 3 to 4. And then they'll have a week with maybe 2 to 3 great nights sleep. They'll actually go back a little bit. And then back to 3 to 4. And then to 3 to 4. And then they'll get 5. And then eventually be 6 out of 7. And they still can't get that 7th, but they're getting really close. And then another month goes by and now 7 nights in a row of great sleep. So should this person have given up on the first night sleep when it maybe didn't fully repair their body, right? They didn't all of a sudden get 8 hours of great sleep for that night? No, not at all. The goal is to continue to learn, to pivot, and to grow, right? So every time we implement something new, it gives us feedback. With our relationship, pretty quick, right? With our health, it might take a couple of weeks, right? We don't always necessarily know right away, but we're able to then take that information, use that, learn from it, and then make our next pivot, our next little adjustment. What I try to tell a lot of my teams as well is that we don't want to swing wildly in terms of like the pendulum and variables. What you want to do is you want to set your course. And then after that, as you start to make progress, you just want to make small little tacks. If you're a sailor, you know what sailing is. You basically just are tacking into the wind to ultimately get to your destination. Because if you have a head-on wind, you can't sail straight into it. You'll just, the sail will luff, which is flap back and forth, and you won't go anywhere. So what you actually need to do is zigzag back and forth to get to your goal, which is straight ahead. You see the goal, it's right in front of you, but you can't get there because you have a headwind. So what we need to do is simply tack back and forth. And the more information we have, the more adjustments we can make, the closer we can get to our goal. So every time now in your life where you're up against an obstacle and you feel like you're losing, just step back and say, got it, understood. This is something worth fighting for. It is something that's important to me. What am I missing? Okay, I've done all the things that have got me to this point here today, and I'm grateful for that, because you need to give gratitude, because things can always be so much worse. My two biggest focal points are gratitude and perspective. Grateful for what I have, perspective being it could be a whole lot worse. Sure, I want things to be better, but it could be worse. I've been in worse situations. So now once we can look at that, we can say, okay, what now do I need to learn? Because clearly I'm missing something in order to take my life to that next level and lift myself out of this current pain and suffering. And again, whether it be career or finance or body transformation or spirituality or health, you're able to find the guide, the coach, the doctor, the practitioner, the certification, whatever it might be, because all the information you need to succeed is now literally out there at your fingertips. That's the amazing thing about it. So what it then comes down to is, are we willing to implement it? And if our why is great enough, which I hope yours is, you'll be able to see this through to the end. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning into today's Mindset and Motivation Monday. As always, great speaking with you here to start the week. Please let me know, of course, if I can add any future topics to this Mindset and Motivation Monday list. And of course, do share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.